So we are going to Paris for the weekend, and right now I was thinking on how to keep like doing these introspections and talking things that I like while being on the trip. Because also an important thing about this is that sometimes we don't enjoy the moment because we are like either filming or very focused on capturing content. So I was thinking on how to accomplish this, and I bought this notebook that, of course, I'm going to be enjoying the moment and recording things that I like, but having these reflections and things that I need to think about, I will do them here, and then at the end of the day, I will do like a recap. And yeah, I will see how that goes because also I'm going with my family, with my mom and my brother that came all the way from Mexico. So I want to enjoy them. And yeah, we are going in the train right now. So we just arrived to the Airbnb. It's so nice. I'm loving every space. I will give you a tour once we are settled. But right now I wanted to show you something that I do every time that I'm going like to a nice cafe. I take a coaster and I write the place, the date, and then the people that are with me, they need to sign. So I feel that it's a good way to like remember the moment. And this stay in my house, and sometimes I put them in like little I don't know how it's called in English, but I put them in a frame and then I hang them on the wall. So it's a really good reminder. But I think that I can give you a tour now. Everyone is settled, so let's do it. So today was the second day, and we went to the Louvre, and I made a list of all the paintings that I saw because we made a schedule in order to see specific things that we wanted. And the first thing that I saw was the one from the coronation of Napoleon the First, and it was very amusing because I haven't seen a painting that big before in my life, and I got to question like how would they move it because it's really so huge. I mean, I think that it's 4 meters or something. I will confirm, but I will leave like the measurements over here. The painting, it was impressive, and also the detail in that painting and everything had something or represented something, and that is something that I really enjoy. How those paintings back then, everything had a reason to be, and everything meant something. So it was really nice as first painting. Then in that same room, we saw the weddings of Canaan and the Mona Lisa. That room in the Louvre is very crowded. So, of course, because there are very famous paintings, but I feel that those paintings are very impressive, are very pretty, and I think that it they represent certain points in time where the development of the arts was at a certain point. Because if you go like through the rooms of the Louvre, you see that development of paintings. I saw also paintings that they didn't have perspective, and then you go to the ones that Leonardo da Vinci painted, and you can see the difference, which is very impressive. Then there were some paintings from the 1200, I believe, that were on pieces of wood that belonged to either churches or to castles, and it was so impressive how the painting is still in place. I know that they are well taken care of, but I mean the painting itself, it's the same, and the colors are so vibrant, and how some things are worth preserving. And I also like that there were a lot of different cultures, and for me it's so interesting to see the different perspectives that we had as a humanity in previous points in time, and what we find meaningful to save and to archive, because at the end of the day those pictures or those paintings or those sculptures were in someone's homes, castles, whatever. So it's like, for example, someone taking my cell phone and seeing my life through my pictures. So that's something that I was debating today about some of the paintings that were over there. Of course, some were commissions and some were specifically made for something. But at the end of the day, it's kind of seeing the life through that. And I know that paintings are staged, but so most of our pictures and photos right now are the same. I think that the the thing that live videos and this type of things is so entertaining is that it's a little bit like you were in the room with me, which I find that it's very unique and very human, and you can connect. But there's something also magical about seeing these paintings, these scenes that the painters portrayed, that also kind of makes you connect with them even if you were not alive at the moment that that happened. For example, I saw also the that portrays the victory of France. Is this lady carrying the flag of France? So that was very impressive, and if you see the painting, you could really feel the relief of having the war ended. Now, another painting that I like so much is one that is called San Sebastian. I will leave it over here, and also all the paintings at the end. I will do a compilation of everything that I saw over there. But this specific painting of San Sebastian, my mom told me a story that I was born in a town called La Piedad, Michoacan, which is a little town in Mexico. And she told me that before being called La Piedad, it was called San Sebastian, and it was due to that patron. So I got to see the original painting that that ended up being the statue, and then being called that name, and then yeah, it changed. But I didn't know that, and it's funny that I got to travel 3,000 kilometers in order to find that out. So even being that far, I felt like, I don't know, I felt a peace at home because I have seen that statue that it's in the temple that I will leave a picture over here. It's the temple of Señor de la Piedad. That it's also a legend that they found the Christ like in the middle of a tree. So there was this um, there was this man that tried to cut down the tree, and it cut it in half, and then when he pulled that half off, there was a Christ in the middle of the tree. So that's why they built a church over there, like where that tree was at first, and then he had this vision that Christ was telling him that he wanted to build a city. So that's why he built La Piedad. And then something that I found very nice is that most of the paintings from that time, they had dogs in it or in them, and they were so cute. I will put the one that I found so funny, this little dog that it was so hilarious. But yeah, I feel that it was a symbolism of loyalty. Maybe I need to research a little bit more about symbolism in art, because yeah, I don't know, I don't know about art. I find that it's an interesting topic to dive in, and that I would really like to, because even if you're building a business or something, looking at a painting or what artists that are doing is very nice, because I was telling you that in those paintings everything was there for a reason, that there's so much detail. So I feel that symbolism can be a way to tell stories. So also, like for example, if I'm building this like reading as resistance, what can be a symbolism or an analogy that could reflect on the message that I'm trying to portray. So I don't know, maybe it can be helpful. Right now I was thinking about that, and about like dogs and their function in the paintings. And lastly, I saw the oldest stones with hieroglyphics that I have seen. So these were, I think, made 4,000 years ago or something like that. And it was the first storytelling, like of okay, they have found like in caverns or in caves. They have found like drawings in stone that it was to tell a story. But I found so interesting that the stories are the oldest medium of communication to share a message. And yeah, so there was this stone that was telling about a ritual that was done when someone died to a specific god. So it was very, very interesting. And also I saw the Hammurabi Code, that it was like the first decreed, like the first law book that was ever made, that dictate the rules of a society. So it was very nice. And yeah, so this was a like a very quick summary of what I saw today, all the reflections and everything that I was thinking, that most of the things are there in the museum being guarded. Maybe there were like common objects, especially if you go back to those civilizations that were alive 4,000 years ago. Like we're looking at maybe their plates that they were in someone's home, like used in a day to day with no special meaning, but to us, it's a small way to see how life was back then. So that also leads me to the reflection that everyone is worthy in order to share their story. Like everything that you do is interesting, everything that you have is interesting, and maybe these things that we are doing will be evidence one day that of the way that we were living or thinking. So yeah, it's kind of encouraging to think about that, to think about what we can do in order to portray humanity, because at the end of the day, many will argue that we are not in a good place in history to be proud of sharing, but I find that negative and also not realistic because there's so much good in humans right now. And seeing all these cultures, all these wars, everything in under one roof, it makes me think that at the end, um, maybe hope and goodness can be or can persevere against everything. So yeah, second day in Paris. Tomorrow we're going to Disneyland Paris. So a little bit of a different outing. Let's see. So yesterday we came back from Paris. It was an amazing trip. I can't wait to make the video and everything that I have planned for that. I think that it has been a very good experience regarding what I can do and what I can accomplish while being present, and also all the things that I can learn and all the things that at the end make themselves present in the situations that I'm in, because this was my third time in Paris, and honestly, being there and seeing the same things, of course, I am in a different stage of my life, but I encountered different things that resonated with me, and also I think that it's something about that you find what you are looking for, like unconsciously, what you are thinking about. So it was very interesting, and the fact that I have like my notebook with me, it's very important practice, not only for trips but also in my day-to-day life, because a lot of ideas happened randomly in places that sometimes I don't take the time to write them down. And the thing is that when I have an idea that it's like coming to me from a moment, like in the spur of the moment, if I write it down, it kind of integrates into my brain, and I feel that it's an answer to maybe an unspoken question. For example, I noticed, especially in my publication, that if I wanted to do something or for the mail club or whatever, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, like I just ask the question and then I let it go and spend my day doing what I do. And then when I'm doing something else, the answer will come. So having these tools, that yes, of course, the cell phone is a very useful tool, but I found out that writing it down has a deeper effect in me. So yeah, that has been this week. It has been different from our day to day. And next week, I'm planning something interesting. I still need to figure it out with my schedule and everything, but I have something that I have been wanting to do since a long time. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but um, I will keep you posted. See you next time.